Good morning. Emmy's ready for her close-up. She's chilling out like a muffin top in her basket. Get a little snug in there. Getting a little snug in there? What do you think? What do you think? Oh, stop bothering me, Mom. Hi, Flosstube. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, April 24th. I'm Helen. Thanks for coming back. That's Emmy talking to the birds, if you can hear her. Spring has finally arrived here. I didn't know if it was going to happen. But it's been nice. We've put the winter coats away. We're in sweatshirts or just regular shirts. I've seen kids in shorts at school. I don't think it's quite that warm yet, but kids do. They run hotter than us, I guess. We are back from vacation. My son and I went to Florida last week. We have February vacation, a week off, and then a week off in April here in Maine, I think in most of New England. So we went to Florida to see my parents who spend the winters down there. Donna Ray messaged me on Facebook. She commented on Instagram, sorry. She said, oh, are you back from vacation? Do you have any haul? Yeah, a little haul, a little bit haul. This video will actually be stitching light, haul heavy. Because we were busy, so I didn't stitch as much, but I went to an actual LNS. First time that I've been in one, so it was great. So great we went twice. Was the LNS so nice, I made my son go twice. He wasn't happy about that. So I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So, like I said, we were in Florida. We went to an aquarium, like the Mote, M-O-T-E. It was in Sarasota, I think. It's like a research facility. We'd never seen a manatee. They have manatees there, giant sea turtles. So that was cool. Otters, those things could play all day. Just swim and swim and swim. It was awesome. We went to a nature park. They had a zebra and a camel and a tarantula, which my son was shocked that I would look at, but it was in a cage. If it were free range, I'd have been out of there. I'd have been in Georgia running. So we had a good time. Now we're back, school's back in, we're getting back to our routines. Hopefully no more snow days. We're past that, so it will be nice. All right, let's jump in. Like I said, not a lot of stitching, a little bit of stitching, a lot of haul. So for stitching, I took this, and the charts are upstairs, but it's done, so don't really need it. This was a chart. Sneaky peek over there. I thought those were magneted better. This is a Sue Hillis chart. Someone had it on Stash Unload and I commented it, and then they realized it was a complimentary chart, so they just sent it to me, which was great. So this, I love this. The little watermelons all eaten up. This is on Picture This Plus Sprite. It's a light pink with a little gray. And I didn't use the called fors. Got my little cheat sheet. I used baby spinach, which might be a Classic Colorworks, for the green, 3706 for the pink, and black and white. So that one I'm going to finish. I have that tall, skinny chalkboard I found at Michael's that I had shown you guys, so that will be what I finish on that for summer. This one, my 11Zs by Fiddlesticks AU, I thought I'd get more done on there, but it was too dark in my parents' house to work on this one in the evenings, so I worked on the watermelons. So I really didn't work on this one at all there, and then I worked on it when I got back. So breakfast, second breakfast, 11Zs, and luncheon. I think we have afternoon tea, supper and dinner, dinner and supper. This is for the nerd wall. It's going on the nerd wall. I know it's cutting it close on the edges, but I will make a wall hanging out of this, so that was no big deal. So I've gotten at least half done, probably a little more than half. So now I'm going to put this one up for a bit and catch up on my sals. I hadn't done any of April. I only have 2. It's not like I have 90. So I pulled Into the Jungle out last night, and I'm working on the tiger block up here. And then I have the Guardians of Notre Dame, which I showed that I still need to catch up with March and April and then May. but the circle is done, so those shouldn't take that long. I think I'll need to brighten him up, the orange, but I couldn't look at it last night because it was too dark and my colors don't look right, so I couldn't see. That's all my stitching. That's 2 weeks of stitching. Excuse me. Like I said, we were busy. We were playing cards. We were playing dominoes. We were in the pool. We were traveling places. You know, and I was being social and actually talking in the car instead of when my husband drives and I'm stitching in the car. So that was that. So while we were there, they're down in Port Charlotte, Florida, which is where the Golden Needle is. And my mom's like, oh, it's just a little hole in the wall. Well, it's in a strip mall, but it's 2 stories once you get in there, covered in models. The first time we went, we popped in, and my mom was keeping my son entertained by going around and trying to find all the models by number, because she has them all numbered so that when you go to the register, if there's something you liked, they keep those charts, a copy of them right by the register, so you could say, I want number 16, and they could go through and pull it out. I thought he said, originally they were looking for the highest numbers, and it was like 200 something. I mean, there was a ton of models there. And then they were looking for, you know, oh, here's number 1, here's number 2. There was even models in the bathroom. Apparently, I didn't make it to the bathroom. I was with the fabric. So that day I just mostly bought fabrics. I focused on the fabrics because I don't have an L&S. There is a store in Maine that sells threads, but none of the hand-dyed Aida. They have regular Aida, but none of the hand-dyed, overdyed Aida. So the first time we looked, I just looked at fabrics. Then we had another day where we were able to go back and I bought more fabrics and a few charts. So I did take a few pictures, so I will insert those here so you guys can take a peek around the Golden Needle. So that stack of fabric you saw in the picture was just the Aida. The other side of that, the fabric room, had all the linens, and there were more linens than Aida. So I'm an Aida girl, stuck with the Aida. I laughed. I was watching, I've been catching up on everyone's videos, and I was watching Julie, Gulf Coast Stitcher, and she was saying, you know, if a lot of people start with Aida and then they'll move on to an even weave and then up to linen, and they don't usually, that's usually the direction it goes. It doesn't go back. I went back. I moved on to even weave, and I just didn't like it. And I tried to like it, and I wanted to like it because I love all the different colors you get in the linens. I just didn't like it. So I went back. I'm the opposite, Julie. I went back. Now the cat's going to drink my water. As long as she doesn't spill it on my cloth. So let's jump in to my haul. So like I said, the first day I mostly looked at fabrics because that's something that I can't get. I can't get in person to actually look at the colors. So a lot of these are for specific projects. I looked ahead of time to see what I wanted to kit up. And then some of them are just because, that's not one they sell on 123 or on some of the other sites. So if I want a smaller piece of it, I should get it now. So they're just in the stack. I'll have to just pull them out one by one. And the names. Now normally they would serge these, but her serger broke. So I said, don't worry about it. I can zigzag or whatever. So this is quartz, and these are all Picture This Plus with the exception of one, and they're all Aida. So this one is quartz. It's a pretty pink. This one is Mirage. Some of these I had specifically cut long and skinny. I'm planning on doing some of the Bent Creek Rose. Heather, a Perfectly Perfect Stitcher, this is what I'm putting the one you sent me on, the Spooky Row. So seems I have the option of having them cut to size and not having to buy, I mean this one is 23 inches. So I would have had to buy the 18 by 27 or whatever and then use 8 inches of it and have the rest for something else. So I had that cut for that. This is Arbor, which is a lighter pink than Quartz. This is for the spring row. This one is J. It's like a purple. I bought this one to do another of the Satsuma Street Cities. That's what that one's for. And this one, which is Chime. It's beautiful. Light yellow, like a lemon yellow, but dark enough that white should show, which is always a challenge. This piece, they have a drawer with all their odd cuts for sale. So this is a 20 by 10.5 piece of Monster Mash. So I thought I could get something long and skinny, or 2 8x10s of something Halloween, obviously. Although I use Monster Mash, I did the Harry Potter from Wee Little Stitches on Monster Mash, and it looked great. This is another piece of Sprite, which is what I used for the watermelons, but this is in a different count. I'm trying to do the cities all on the same count, so when I hang them together, they'll look the same. This is Doubloon, and this is what I'll be using for the autumn row, and I think the summer row was my plan. So she cut it, it's 22.5 by 14, so I can cut it right in half. And I thought I had picked up a frame for those, actually the same frame Misty Purcell used for her spring. She got it at Hobby Lobby. I found the brown one, and I was planning on using that for the rows. And then Chelsea and Priscilla finished a string, and it's on planks, and the ribbon is across the top, and it's adorable. So, not that I'm going to get to them anytime soon. Okay, this is the only piece of non-Picture This Plus, and this was just, they had a little bit of French Cafe Mocha. I don't know what's in this. It's super soft. I think it has some rayon in it. If all Ada were like this, I'd be thrilled, because it's really, really soft. It'll be easy to work with. If I use it in my hoop, it won't, you know, hold all the iron bits in there. And then the last piece of fabric I got, this is Storm. Picture This Plus Storm. I was looking specifically for something to use for the 'Tis the Season, the sale that we're doing on Labor Day weekend. I kind of wanted a light gray, but I need the white to show up. It's like the bane of my existence, is if I stitch something with white, I need the white to show up. So this one is, it's a gray, it's a little darker. So I haven't picked colors yet, because I'll use Victoria Motto. I haven't held colors up to it yet to see if it's going to work. But I was able to get, like I said, a piece cut just the size I needed it. So all of you that have LNSs or semi-local stores that sell fabric that you can have cut to size when you need it, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous, because that was great. The owner was probably like, who's this girl coming in here wanting, you know, 12 pieces of fabric that I have to cut? Because it kind of takes a bit. You've got to cut it on the line, you know, measuring it out. They're trying to fit as best they can on the yard that they order so they can get the most off. And it was a timely process, but I don't have that option often, so I took full advantage. There's my stack. Here's my other stack. So, like I said, they had samples. You know, they had models everywhere. I kind of, when I went in there, I had a few charts I was looking for, none of which they had. She had a ton of Lizzie Kates down in the downstairs. So I looked through those, because those are going to get harder to find. So I thought, well, I'll look through here. And then a couple things I didn't know I really wanted until I saw the model. And now I have them. So here's what I got. I got the Lizzie Kate Floor Mix Sample Farm. This one I was looking for, and she had it, so I picked that up. This one was a model right up by the fabric area. I think Holly and Anita are doing this for Stitch Mania. I think this is the one they talked about doing. These are beautiful, so I picked that up. They had a Prairie Schooler Santa for $2. Pick that up. Right up by the fabric area, which I obviously spent a lot of time at, they had the Lizzie Kate Mystery Sampler Holly and Hearts. I don't know what year this was from. This was a few years ago. I've seen this. I mean, it's pretty, but it's nothing I thought I would do until I stared at that model and it looks gorgeous. The colors are pretty. The model was done on a very small count linen. So obviously mine will not be that petite. It could be if I found something small enough. And they had it finished as a cube, and it was gorgeous. And she had all 3 parts. Even better. So I picked those up. So that was all that's all I got there for charts. It's more than I needed. That's what I got there for charts. The day before I left, or might even been the morning that we left, I was just checking something on Facebook and up pops stash unload or unloading, and someone had 2 of the Prairie Schooler Santas for sale. 2 that I've been looking for that are available in the reprints, but the reprints come in packs of 3, and these were both with 2 others that I had no intention of stitching. So we got the 92 Santa, like Fisherman Joe Santa. You'd find him on the coast of Maine with his lobster, although that's a dead lobster because it's red, but whatever. Who doesn't carry dead lobsters in their back? I love him. I like that he's different with his yellow coat, so he'll be stitched up. And then this was the other one. This is 99. And again, he's available in one of the 3 packs. So I have 2 others that, you know, they're kind of looking one way or the other. Andy from Nana's Needles did 4 of the Santas together on one piece, and she did like the craft ones, like there's a stitching one and a sewing one. She did them all on one, and it looks awesome. So my thought was, if I did, not this guy because he's yellow, so he'll be somewhere else, but I'm just showing. I have one looking this way and then one looking face up, and then if I did one looking the other way and another looking face up, they'd look really nice together. So I'm looking through all the different pictures, and the one that I wanted to match this one was 2003, which is the one, he's very similar style and stance, and he's holding stockings. I couldn't find that thing anywhere. It's just, you know how there's sometimes that just aren't there? Couldn't find it. So then I'm at my parents', and I happen to check 123 Stitch on Sundays, as we do, to see what's on sale. And Prairie Schooler has some new releases, including the one I wanted. So, oh, I didn't take this one out. It's going to be terrible. So there he is. So this guy and this guy will go on opposite corners. And it has the cross stitch one and this earth one. So I like all 3 of these. It is now mine to stitch whenever I get to it. And because, as you know, no chart may travel alone, I picked up Sunny Days. I guess you'd call that black work, but it's just backstitch. Lots and lots of backstitch. I think I told you guys I have a bowl coming. It's not a dough bowl, but it's dough bowl-esque. I haven't seen my friend to pick it up yet, but it's awesome. So I need to start putting some things together to put in it. So I thought these would be perfect for summer. I love this. My favorite, I think, is the little crab. He's cute. And they've got, like, he's got fish. They've got different things around them, so that'll be cute. 123 had restocked their Lizzie Kates, obviously, as everyone else did. So I picked up Ho Ho Ho. And then they also had just a couple of Charlie Harper's. So I got this one, which is Birthday. Now, I think you stitch this one on white. You stitch it on white so that all that white doesn't need to be stitched. But then all the blue does up in here. So I don't know what would be best. Stitch it on white and not do the white, or stitch it on blue and not do the blue, or stitch it on blue polka dot, again, it'll be a while. There's the bird bath. That's the one I found at Goodwill. I love all of theirs. I love this giraffe with his, you can't see it in this, but he's the baby's face because he's getting all licked. So that's it. That's all my haul. That's a lot of haul. Yesterday I went through, I've got a bunch of charts. Everyone's been getting ready for Stitch Mania, which I won't do because it would be too much for me. But I like organizing my charts. That's always fun. So I went through with the ones that I'm hoping to get to later this year into next year, and I matched them all up with fabric because I knew I had bought some fabric. So now once this is done, I can put it away with it. I don't need to buy any more charts for a long time. I have enough charts. So we'll see how many I can get through. I need to plug away at some of those. And I've got some cute ones coming up down the pipe that I'm hoping to stitch. So shout outs. I haven't done shout outs. I don't think I did them last week. I was so far behind. I came in, there's Pepper. I didn't watch any Flosstube while we were gone. And then I came back and there's a bunch of videos. So I'm making my way through. I'm trying to comment. Sometimes, because I watch them on the TV, like I just keep going. And if I remember, I remember. If I don't, I don't. But I've watched a few new ones to me. I've just caught up on a bunch of people. So one new one I watched, she just released her first one this week, I think yesterday, and I watched it yesterday. Jackie, she's Cross My Stitches, and I'll link everyone down below. Jackie always comments on videos. She's awesome. She's friends with me on Instagram, so she's always commenting on stuff. She's getting back into stitching after raising her son for a long time. My son's only 8, but I had a while where, I was too busy. So I totally understand that. So now she's buying all the stuff that she missed over that stretch of time. She's working on bird bath, and she's already got like half the bath done, so she's moving right along. And she has some things in her stash that I'd never even seen before, which are very cute. Jan Hicks Creates. Where have I been? She's got like 8 or 9 or 10 videos, and I finally watched one last night, and now I gotta go back and catch up because she was just so soothing to listen to. And I like all her projects. I'm not even a knitter, but I can appreciate the work that goes into those types of projects too, and I like seeing them. So she was really fun to watch. Who else is new to me? Oh, Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. I've talked with her on Instagram, but I hadn't watched her video yet, so I've been catching up with Audrey. She's working on Elegant Squid from Ink Circles, which I've loved for a long time, but thought, where am I going to put that? Nerdwall. That's where I'm going to put that. So I may have found a copy of that that's headed my way. Hers looks great. It really does. And I'm going to put some Victoria Mottos in that bad boy when it comes in. Leslie Hurley and those kittens. When we were watching the kittens, my husband came in when we were watching the kittens. And my cats were like, what's that? What's going on? Because she'd pick them up and they'd squeak and my cats would freak out. So more kitten videos, please. Talking about Mania and everyone doing their Mania plans. So I caught up with Julie, Colorado girl, Kansas City girl in Colorado world, and Ginger, Gigi and Stitches. They're doing like 50 things. Girls, you're crazy. You're crazy even for Mania. You're maniacs even for Mania. But like I said, I love watching Mania videos because it's like Christmas. I love seeing everyone's projects. When Julie did, she flipped through all of the things she has kitted up. And I'm like, ooh, that's cute. Ooh, that's cute. Ooh, I better go to Etsy and put that on my list. So I love getting ideas for when I get through all my patterns that I already have. Speaking of which, Julie, Gulf Coast Stitcher, keeps adding adorable things to her shop. So she shows her shop updates and see what she has on there. Holly and Anita. I swear Anita and I had the same stash. I think she just bought Hearts and Holly. We have some of the same Lizzie Kate. She was showing her stuff, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah, I need that. So they're always fun to watch. Lollipop Stitches did her video, I don't know, it was a couple videos ago, where she talked about her trip to Disneyland Paris, which was awesome because I probably will never go to Disneyland Paris, but now you get to hear about it and kind of live vicariously through someone, so that was awesome. And then Misty Purcell, my girl, had a new video I think right after we left she posted, so I had to wait a whole week. She's working away on Rabbit Run with those she brightened up the colors, and it looks great. It looks really cool. I can't wait to see how she finishes that. I think that's it. I had a big list. Julie, my handwriting is not as neat as yours, but I had a big list. So plans will just be to kind of catch up on the Sal's. I need to do that Tiger for Into the Jungle. When is May 1st? Monday, Tuesday? It's next week. So I'll have another one then, and I'll pull Guardians back out. I should be able, the actual Guardians don't take very long, 2-3 days, depending on how bad the backstitching is. And she changed, the first couple charts for me were difficult because the chart and the backstitching were all in the same chart, and I had a hard time seeing underneath for the chart, but she's changed it now so that she'll send you two. So you have one that's just no backstitching, and then a separate page that has the backstitching, which for me is super helpful. If you don't like it that way, well, you can just use the one sheet that has everything on it. So it's good for everyone. The cat just sneezed. That is all, you guys. Enjoy. We'll see if I forced anyone to add some things to their wish lists. That's how it usually happens with me. Like I said, I'm still catching up. So if you see me comment on a video from 2 weeks ago, it's because I have a long list and I gotta make my way through it. But keep them coming. I'll keep watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.